Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow. Merry Christmas.
Where we're gonna go, mister? Just tell me where we're gonna go.
Didn't you get a list of alternate shelters?
Come on, it's Christmas Eve. They're all full up.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You know, you got a home to go to. The social services people in this city, they're threatening to take my kids away and they put them in the foster homes because we're on the streets. And you are sorry?
Come on, before we get in any more trouble.
Merry Christmas. It's gonna be okay, all right? Daddy's gonna find us all a place to live, I promise.
Can I, Dad?
Okay. Thanks. Jill, if I'm not back by 5 o'clock, go to that church place. See if they'll let you and the kids in.
We gotta stay together, Eddie, as a family.
We gotta survive. This is what we gotta do. Hey, how do I look?
Eddie, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna leave us, are you?
Oh, I told you, I'm just gonna find us a place to live, that's all. I'll be back by 5 o'clock. Promise. Watch your brother.
Miss Connor, do you feel the jury clearly understood the fundamental difference between art and pornography?
I'm not sure the jury understood anything. They were so distracted by the outrageous and underhanded gimmicks employed by the defense counsel. You know, as long as our courtrooms are allowed to be used as three-ring circuses, we're gonna have to put up with clowns like him.
There's MacHeath, and here's defense counsel Simon MacHeath. Sir, could we get your reaction to Miss Connor's charge that you used outrageous and underhanded gimmicks?
Well, in this case, the alleged gimmicks were instrumental in the jury being able to properly distinguish the difference between art and obscenity. If I may illustrate. Could you hold that for a second? Now, I ask you, isn't public decency just a matter of what comes between a man and his fig leaf?
Eddie, how are you?
Nice, Stan. I come to get my things.
Have you found anything yet?
No, still looking.
That lawyer, Simon MacHeath. He's one crazy guy. But I'll give him this. He wins more than he loses.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Harvard? I always forget the name of that place.
What do you mean they've been evicted? It's Christmas Eve, for crying out loud.
It's a privately owned shelter, Mr. Mayor, and I promised my constituents this redevelopment project would be underway by the new year.
Did you also promise them we'd have riots in the streets?
There won't be any riots if you and your overpaid, vaunted police department do your job correctly.
You were elected to the city council to represent the people of Boston, not big construction and real estate outfit.
I resent that implication. This project is clean as a whistle.
Mr. Mayor, the city needs this redevelopment.
And you need the campaign contribution.
All right, you two. The timing of this is atrocious.
The timetable was agreed to by your own advisors. It's costing the developers $30,000 a day every time it's delayed.
Because of the promises you made.
That's enough! We're gonna have enough trouble with this. For now, I want the two of you to bury the hatchet, and not in each other's skulls.
What's so special about this place, anyway?
This was Boston's first skyscraper. And wait until you see the marble floors. They're from Carrera.
Swell. We drove 1,500 miles to look at floor tiles.
This is my vacation, remember?
Okay.
I mean, imagine. This building was authorized by Andrew Jackson.
Time for the tour to begin. Forward today. Isn't that nice? Won't you please wait in the foyer?
Sure. Come on.
My name is Miss Martindale, and I will be your guide today. I'd like to welcome you to Custom House, a traditional residence for the mayor of Boston.
Not now, man. Okay. Buy at 3.5 and put a sell order in at 4. All right.
These days, this building is often used for receptions and formal occasions. Before the tower was added in 1913, this downstairs section was modeled after a Greek temple. The fluted Doric columns on the outside are granite and weigh 42 tons each.
What the hell's a Doric flute?
Later, we'll visit the observation balcony, but now I'd like you to follow me into the mayor's office. And please remember not to touch anything. Come along, sir, and join our merry little throng. This extraordinary marble flooring is from Carrara, Italy.
This is magnificent.
Ask me. For the Boston Garden, that's class.
Walt Whitman described this building as one of the noblest pieces of commercial architecture in the world.
Yeah, I heard that.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Morning, Miss Martindale.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the mayor of our fair city?
Don't you move, Mayor, or we're all gonna go sky high. Okay, everybody inside. Move! This is a promise, not a threat. I'm not kidding, mister. Inside.
I see we've dressed for the office.
Keep telling you, Yvette, what's acceptable is what works.
Jack, where do you get these people? Do you take out ads in the underground papers?
Yvette, I told you when you came aboard, one of the perks of working here is the variety of our caseload. Dun-dun-dun-dun! The district attorney, defender of the American moral fiber, keeper of the oat brand.
Cut the crap, MacHeath. The mayor wants to see you.
Look, that stunt I pulled before, it was just a political statement, nothing personal.
Really? This isn't a request, you know. It's a summons.
Well, what are you taking me in for? Exposing my fig leaf?
Let's go.
Doesn't the mayor have a sense of humor? You know, Connor, this is not very ring-ting-a-ling.
I'm in charge here. Ah, here he is. Bleeding heart champion of the world's underdogs.
Okay, so your bosses are being held hostage by some mad bomber. What's it got to do with me?
That mad bomber asked for you. Special.
Upstairs, please. Wait a minute. What?
You heard him.
No way, not a chance.
People can get killed, MacHeath. Innocent people.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be one of them.
Hey, boys. You're going about this all wrong. MacHeath. What do you want?
You know, I hadn't even thought about that.
Well, think.
I want the charge in the Bryson case dropped from murder 2 to manslaughter.
Forget it.
Have a nice day.
Okay.
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 Okay. Should ask for a car.
Get going. Have a nice trip.
Bleeding heart champion of the underdogs, huh? I kind of like that.
hurt.
Sit down. Sit down.
I'm Simon MacHeath.
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie, what do you want?
I want a place for my family to stay.
Where'd you stay last night?
Stayed at the South Street shelter.
Why can't you stay there tonight?
Because he closed it down.
Eddie, aren't there some other shelters?
It's Christmas. They're all full up. Besides, I was promised a place of our own.
By who?
The city. Did you know that they're supposed to provide housing for homeless families? It's the law.
Okay. I still don't get what it is you want from me.
I saw you on TV. Gotta be something you can do. I mean, the city, it's breaking the law. And to me, he's the city.
Eddie, are you trying to tell me you think you're doing the right thing here?
Look, I've been a law-abiding citizen all my life.
Yeah, well, from where I'm standing, that doesn't play, pal. If you wanted to obey the law, you would have just taken this whole thing to court.
I already thought of that. It takes too long. And besides, did you know it's going to be 15 degrees out there tonight?
Eddie. You really think that this is the way to get what you want?
Look, I promised my family that they would be in their own place tonight, and I meant it. So you figure it out!
Eddie, what if we went to court?
What?
Wouldn't you say that these people could be a jury of your peers?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's go to court here. Let's sue the city of Boston right now.
They're not going to go along with it. That would never work.
The mayor is going along with it, Eddie. The district attorney is right downstairs. What are they going to do? Say no? What do you think?
Okay, MacHeath. Let me show you something. You got 4 hours, but this place is history.
Get dead on those windows from the roof. I mean every second. He comes, looks out the window, pop him. I want this sucker taken out.
Yeah, I don't know you should do that. He's got a remote. What if your guy misses?
My men don't miss.
I know, yeah. You guys are perfect.
What is this, the debating society? That jerk's got the mayor in there and one of your own.
Yeah, and he's also got a bomb and innocent bystanders missing.
I'm aware of that, Chief. But the sergeant says that he's got guys who can shoot the manhood off a flea from 500 yards. Am I right?
She's right, Chief. Me and my men, we're your only ticket.
Somebody's coming out.
Don't shoot. I'm the good guy.
Move it out. What are you doing down here, MacHeath? Why ain't you upstairs with the rest of them?
We're going to have a trial upstairs.
What do you mean a trial? I don't understand this.
Kangaroo court.
We're going to sue the city.
We?
I'm going to be his lawyer, and we're going to sue the city for lack of affordable housing. The hostages are going to act as a judge and a jury.
Don't tell me, MacHeath. You thought of this, am I right?
Everybody up there agreed to this, okay? That means you guys got to do the same. No ambushes, no snipers, no trying to break into the building. Nobody goes inside. Is that clear?
You came down here to tell us this?
Yeah. And to get you.
What?
The mayor and the city, they're going to need a lawyer.
Great. Thanks, MacHeath. Well, boys, if we can't burn them from down here, I'll just have to burn them from up there. Let's go.
Just the man for the job.
It'll be great.
Oh?
MacHeath sues the city, Connor for the defense. It'll make headlines.
Shut up, MacHeath.
High wire tension here at the offices of the mayor, where a terrorist armed with an explosive is holding the mayor, a police captain, councilperson Martha Dean, District Attorney Connor, and a group of tourists hostage. Although his list of demands has not yet been released to the media, Attorney Simon MacHeath has been called in to act as a negotiator. Now, earlier I spoke with the chief of police who informed me that there are about 60 armed units surrounding the area right now.
Law offices. Simon. Here, let me put you on the speakerphone.
Okay. Everybody there?
Yes, we're all here, Simon. Are you all right?
This guy's name is Eddie Grover. He's lost his job and his house, everything, and he's trying to get a home for his family.
Is that all?
Oh, I'd really love to chat, but I need you guys to do some things for me.
Shoot.
Migsy, go down to the Boston Common and see if you can find Eddie's family. Wife, 2 kids, a boy 8 and a girl 10, I think. Bring them down here and call me from downstairs.
You got it, Mac.
Yvette, review all the recent homeless cases and everything you can find out about Massachusetts law concerning aid to families with dependent children.
AFDC. Got it.
Okay, Elizabeth.
Yes, Simon, what can I do?
I got a Christmas party at 5. You got to cancel me.
Is that all?
Well, no. If I don't get back, I left all your presents in the bottom drawer of the filing cabinet. I gotta go. Connor?
What's this for?
You press this little buttons and you call people.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Hey, prepare your case, counselor.
Prepare my case. That bum has broken at least a dozen laws. Kidnapping, extortion, attempted homicide, reckless endangerment. God, the list is endless. I've got my case, MacHeath. And here are my witnesses.
None of that matters. This isn't criminal. It's a civil trial. We are suing the city.
This is absurd. You expect me to take this seriously?
You think His Honor is taking it seriously? Okay, you guys. You picked the judge yet?
We all agreed. Miss Martindale.
Is that okay with you?
I don't know, Mr. MacHeath. Under this gun-to-the-head circumstance.
She's absolutely right.
Sometimes it's the only way, especially when the guy's got the gun to your head.
Well, I, for one, refuse to allow this vagrant.
Aren't there better ways, Mr. MacHeath?
We live in a participatory democracy, and once again, nobody wants to participate. You know, the law is not etched in stone. It's not stamped on someone's badge or printed in a book. It's here. We're the law. People are the law. We will argue this case, look at the facts, and render a judgment. Stop complaining about this situation, all right? And just make it work. Because if you don't, you will be spending this holiday season sprinkled all over this building like snow in a department store window.
Yes, but the fact remains, Mr. MacHeath, that what he's doing is wrong, threatening to kill the mayor.
Eddie, what do you say? Can you release the mayor?
No way. He's all I got.
What if I gave you something better?
Like what?
Just be calm, all right?
What are you doing, MacHeath?
Eddie, calm down. Stand up, Your Honor. Eddie, trust me. Eddie?
We are all gonna go up here!
Eddie? I'm giving you me. Merry Christmas. All right, Happy Hanukkah, whatever. Mr. RJ242. The RJ stands for...
Raoul Jacob. And don't ask.
No, please. The 242?
You wouldn't get it, man.
I think that's Woolman, but you're probably right about that.
You're so entertaining, MacHeath. But could we just get on with the rest of this joke?
This is no joke.
Whatever happens here today, that's what we live with, if we live.
Yeah? Even if I fry you and your client?
Boil me in hot oil, baby, but it sticks. sure that this thing's not going to go off too early.
I told you, not unless I wanted to.
And you will abide by this court's decision.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know, Eddie? This is it.
I don't think I like all these people here.
You picked him, Eddie. You set the whole thing up. What do you want to do? Want to go out and find 6 more people?
I don't know. I did not plan it this way. And besides, I got this.
Oh, that's great, Eddie. It's time to let the big head do a little driving. You're trying to do to me what you said the city was doing to you. You said you wanted justice, right? Well, that thing ain't justice. You set this thing ticking, Eddie. You better decide. Your family and a few other people are counting on you.
For the kids, let them get something to eat.
All right, ma'am. We'll get you nice someplace warm. Watch your head.
Joseph, have this.
Hey, man, you seen a woman and 2 kids hanging around down here? Come on, a woman, 2 children, a family, homeless.
Man, most of the homeless out here are women and children.
We'll get you Merry Christmas. Come on.
Thanks.
All right, let's begin. Everyone's waiting, Mr. MacHeath.
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm getting a fax from my office case notes. 1 second.
Very well, Mr. MacHeath. Are you prepared for your opening?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. If you save a life, you save the world. If your child was lying in the gutter, would you pick it up? If your sister, your wife, your father were living on the street, would you take them in? Of course you would. They're family. It's no accident that people like Washington and Jefferson, they're called the founding fathers of our country. History recognizes that our leaders, our government, they're the fathers to us all. And we, the citizens, we're their families. Like a father has responsibilities to his children, government has responsibilities to its citizens. One of them is shelter.
It's a grim Christmas Eve outside the 4 squads this way.
0 in on all windows. Remain in position. Nice.
061
More to work, lights.
Suspect male Hispanic 5'8", 155, 20 to 25 years, started green, long sleeve striped shirt.
Ms. Connor, the lady in black. She's going to tell you that this bomb is the act of a terrorist, a madman. Eddie Grover's not a terrorist, but he's mad because he found himself in the richest nation on earth on Christmas Eve with no place to house his family and the temperature dropping into the teens. He had to act. He knows that by threatening the mayor's life and the lives of us all, he will suffer. If he walks out of this building alive, he will have some heavy dues to pay. That's why this bomb is not the act of a terrorist. It is an act of sacrifice and of love. The love a father feels for his children. The love a husband feels for his wife. As a jury, you will deliberate his fate. Before you do, ask yourself, if you were Eddie Grover, what would you do? Look into your hearts, please, and find for Eddie Grover. You've got a chance to save a life and to start saving the world.
All right, guys, keep it moving.
Your Honor, members of the jury, my esteemed colleague, Mr. MacHeath is correct. I am going to talk to you today about a bomb, about a terrorist, about a madman. Is it an act of self-sacrifice? An act of fatherly love that tells children it's okay to break the law to get what you need? It's okay to kill people to make a point. Eddie Grover's message to his children, to this city, and to all of you is that if he acts out his rage, if he breaks the law in an outrageous enough fashion, he will get what he wants. Is this an act of love, ladies and gentlemen? Or is this the act of a common criminal?
I object, Your Honor.
So do I. You object. You're supposed to be the judge, Miss Martindale.
And this is supposed to be a civil trial, Ms. Connor, not a criminal one.
This is a travesty, not a trial.
He's right, Connor. It's a civil trial. And I'll mind you to be civil while we conduct it.
I beg your pardon. In a perfect world, there would be no homelessness, no hunger, no crime, no disease, no sorrow. But we live in an imperfect world. A world that's been hard to Eddie Grover and his family. But no matter how hard it's been or how tragic, we cannot justify terrorism. Today, Mr. Grover not only holds the people in this room hostage, he holds our entire system of justice hostage. And it is your job to tell him that the American people do not reward his kind of justice. It is your duty to find for the city and for the law.
Your first witness, Mr. MacHeath.
Your Honor, we would like to call His Honor, the Mayor of Boston.
I'm looking for the family of Eddie Grover. Eddie Grover. I'm looking for the family of Eddie Grover. Eddie Grover. Eddie Grover's family. Eddie Grover.
Thanks, Jimmy. Sure. Mr. Mayor, were you aware that the South Street shelter was closed today?
Yes. And I think it was terrible.
Why'd you do it?
I didn't. That block has been scheduled for redevelopment for years. The city has an approved contract with a private construction firm. They closed it.
Did you open another shelter to take that one's place?
I will, as soon as state funds are approved and allocated.
Wheels that turn with the speed of frozen molasses, am I right?
Yes.
Your Honor, we're all aware of your concern, both locally and nationally, for the homeless. But could you tell us, did the people in City Hall receive pay raises this year?
Objection, not relevant.
Your Honor, they're salaried by public funds.
I pay my taxes. I'd be interested to know the answer to that question.
Some did. I know I did.
And the city, did they repair or build any new buildings this year?
Several.
What was the cost of that?
You'd have to ask the controller, but it was in the millions.
And the city's entertainment expenses for travel, junkets, receptions, that kind of thing, also in the millions?
Certainly.
And how about the tax breaks for the construction of luxury apartments, office building, also in the millions?
Several millions.
Point man, this is Red Dog.
Roger, Red Dog.
We're gonna try something down here. You might only have a second, so look alive. I'll be ready. Good. Let's get this thing over with so we can all go home for the holidays.
Are you aware of the recent Massachusetts Supreme Court decision in the case of the Mass Coalition of the Homeless versus the Commonwealth? It states that the governor must set priorities so that the state's public assistance programs can fund families with dependent children, so that those children are raised in houses of their own.
Yes, but that is a state obligation. The legislature this year cut programs for dependent children by $4 million.
But don't you think the city has the same legal obligation to observe the Supreme Court decision, to seek funds, to resist the closing of the shelters so that we can all eliminate homelessness in Boston?
Well,
Your Honor, don't you think that at every level of government, federal, state, and city, we have a constitutional obligation to protect life, liberty, property?
Objection, Your Honor. The Supreme Court of the United States has never used the Constitution to impose its views upon the states as to what comprises wise social or economic policy.
Well, for heaven's sakes, why not?
Oh, God.
Eddie Gruber! Your family's down here waiting for you to come out.
There he is. There's Daddy.
Eddie, don't!
Son of a bitch is still alive. Go on, man. Go over there. Go on. Right over our heads. Right here. Secure better positions up there. Next time, don't miss.
Maybe I shouldn't have let you take that bomb off of him.
What's that mean, Eddie? You'd rather kill the mayor than kill me?
Give me your phone.
Red Dog leaves.
What do you think you're doing, you stupid son of a bitch? The people want to live to see Christmas here. You hear me? You idiot. You tell your people to do nothing. Nothing.
Yes, sir.
They tried to kill me.
I promise it won't happen again. I talked with the person responsible.
All right, look, Eddie, we got to get real here. There's at least 6 trigger-happy types out there, and they're ready to follow orders. Now, you promised your family you were going to find one place to stay for the night, right? They're trusting you, Eddie, just like you're trusting us to give you some kind of fair and impartial trial here. Well, it's time to put your trust on the line.
What are you saying, MacHeath?
Eddie, I want you to disarm the bomb. Trust me, Eddie. Believe me, it's the only way. The law's not going to work with a gun at its head.
If Eddie disarms this bomb, can we just see this thing through to the end? For once, can we just trust each other?
I will.
Yes.
All the way.
Me too.
I'm in.
What's that to you?
Okay.
Eddie, even the heat's going along with it. What do you say? So where was your last job, Eddie?
This job is H&R Construction for 15 years.
What happened? You got fired?
Oh, no, sir. I was laid off. The company went bust.
Why?
I don't know all of it, but it had something to do with that S&L thing. When the banks lost their money, the construction loans all disappeared, and we were all out of work.
So what did you do?
I looked for work, but nobody was hiring.
Didn't you have savings, Eddie?
I had a little, but with all the payments and the 2 kids, it just goes pretty quick.
So you lost your job, no savings. I guess you lost your home then, huh?
Yes, I did. I Tried to borrow some money, but it's pretty hard when you don't have a job. After a while, couldn't scrape together enough for first and last month's rent of apartment.
So did you live in shelters then?
Yeah, you want to call that living. Started out in the welfare hotel. You ever been inside one of those? Full of hookers and drugs, syringes in the hallway. And my wife and kids, they were afraid to leave the room.
But you didn't stay there?
No, sir. After 6 months, you gotta move on. We went to the shelters next. 30 days, sometimes a couple weeks. That South Street shelter, it wasn't as bad as the rest of them, but then they closed it down.
Thanks, Eddie. Your witness.
Mr. Grover, exactly how hard did you try to find a job?
Real hard, ma'am. I found a couple of part-time things. Gas attendant, swept out a coffee shop.
Can your wife work?
Yes, ma'am, she can. She did, when she could. You know, waited on tables, stuff like that, but with 2 kids, it's never enough.
I see. So you rigged a bomb, and you came here, and you threatened innocent people with their lives. That makes a lot of sense. And you expect us to care what happens to you?
Objection, Your Honor. She's badgering the witness.
I'd like to hear his answer.
Somebody's got to care. Not about me. I don't care what happens to me, but my wife and 2 little kids. I mean, welfare people say it's neglect. They don't have a place. And they can take my 2 little kids away from me. I mean, they're my family. They deserve a place. Just wanted people to see what was happening to us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the question before this court is, must the city, by law, provide housing for homeless families? All other issues, criminal or emotional, must be disregarded. Do you understand that? The jury will be sequestered to make their decision.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I've always believed that there's work for a man if he wants it bad enough.
Yeah, I wonder if he really tried that hard.
He seems to think society owes him something.
Well, don't we? Doesn't our society guarantee him certain rights and privileges?
You liberals sure think so.
Is it liberal to believe in human dignity?
I'd say that depends on who has to pay for it.
Yeah, it's always us paying for them.
Hey, Eddie. Were you really gonna blast everybody up?
When we first started, yeah. Hey, MacHeath, what do you think's gonna happen in that? Well, whatever. I just want to thank you for what you've done.
Eddie, if you cut your hand, what do you do?
Put a bandage on it.
I just don't understand how anybody can sink so low. Homeless? I mean, there are people to help people like that.
You people are really something. Have any of you ever been homeless?
Have you?
No. But every day there's a couple of kids in my school who sneak around, pretend their families live out of the neighborhood. Everyone knows they don't have a place and just looks the other way. Nobody wants to know about it, not even the teachers.
The school doesn't do anything.
Zippo.
Why?
I guess they all have their own problems.
That's the way it is in India, too.
Tell us.
The homeless people in my country are of the lowest caste, the untouchables. It's very bad.
I thought the untouchables were a thing of the past.
The Harijan, as they are now known, were forced to live apart from the towns and villages. They could not enter the temples, the schools, or use wells where higher caste drew water. Their touch, or even the sight of them, was held to be polluting. And they were forced to go about only at night.
My God.
But your country passed laws to abolish that, didn't they?
Yes, but it is impossible to abolish the prejudice in people's hearts. It is the same here, is it not?
I'm kind of new at this, but I say we vote.
Yeah.
I want a marble. Marble cake. Yeah.
We thought that you and the children might like something to eat.
Thank you, officer.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We, the jury, find for the plaintiff, Mr. Eddie Grover. We have a statement to make.
Though Mr. Grover's actions here were illegal, we unanimously recommend that in his criminal trial, where we will all be witnesses, that he be given as much leniency as legally possible.
Mr. MacHeath, do you think what happened here today will have any significance?
I like to think so. I'm just a lawyer that represented a homeless guy, but to me it's a question of priorities.
Could you give us an example?
Sure. Should the richest country on the earth spend $500 billion bailing out a saving and loans industry that's been brought down by criminals, or should we use it to embrace the homeless of this country and get them off the street? To ask the question is to answer it.
And what's going to happen to Eddie Grover?
Mr. Grover's family will be guests at my private residence for the holidays. Eddie, I'm afraid, will spend it as a guest of the city.
Yes, and his next trial will be in criminal court.
And I'm going to defend him, honey. Yeah, let me give you a big hint. This time I'm taking off all of the fig leaves. Housing now, you guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Where you're going to go out
Merry Christmas, Mr. May.
Look, these two fell in love in there. It's kind of like a hug.
They're a different breed of cop, as tough as the streets they patrol. Watch an all-new episode from an all-new location. Cops in New Jersey tomorrow night. And Sunday, get into the Christmas spirit when Homie Claus comes to town on In Living Color. And Sam Kinison guest stars as Al Bundy's guardian angel. Loser! on a special 1 hour Married with Children.